Spirits on sale for $35. It's a price that's hard to resist, but what's inside the bottle could cost you more.
This is not fit for human consumption. Nobody should be drinking this.
Dirt cheap and toxic.
I'm worried by the prevalence of this. Really worried about it.
7:30 visited independent bottle shops around Melbourne and found suspected illicit spirits on shelves next to legal products. One bottle of vodka we bought in May contained a chemical used in paint stripper.
So the bottle that you had tested and your results were actually, to be honest, quite terrifying.
I just need to talk to you about this because we're doing a story on Dirty George vodka.
Australia's illicit alcohol trade is on the rise. In 2023-24, it cost the federal government around $800 million in unpaid tax. And experts warn the black market is only getting bigger. Dr. Michaela Kowalski is an alcohol and drug researcher who recently produced a report on the extent of illicit alcohol in Australia.
We've been to just about 200 stores across kind of the eastern seaboard of Australia, so New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, and 30% of the stores we've gone to were actually stocking illicit alcohol products. Seems to be quite widespread.
Liquor companies pay a tax on each bottle they produce. It's this tax that makes up a large portion of the retail price of legal spirits. The tax is calculated according to volume and alcohol content. A 700ml bottle with 40% alcohol is taxed at $30, so any bottle being sold for $35 or less is a red flag that taxes may have been evaded. Cheap labelling, broken caps, missing batch numbers and incorrect pregnancy warnings are also indicators. There's also the issue of quality control. During Dr. Michaela Kowalski's research, she tested 3 suspected illicit spirits and found contaminants in 2 of the samples.
What we found there was that 2 of the bottles actually contained methanol and plasticizers. Both of those are things that you don't want to have in vodka, you don't want to be drinking them. They can cause kind of long-term damage.
We bought a big bottle of vodka, more than a litre, called Dirty George, for $59 in Mulgrave in Melbourne's east. There's no batch details, the pregnancy warning is wrong, and the cap doesn't work.
7:30 commissioned testing of the bottle by an independent laboratory in Melbourne's north.
What did you find here in the sample?
We detected tert-butyl alcohol at about 500 milligrams per litre. So tert-butyl alcohol is typically used to denature industrial alcohol or to prevent industrial alcohol from being consumed for human use. That same sample, we also found that it contained about 3% of glycerine. So glycerine can be added as a sweetener or as a masking agent. To find those 2 compounds present in the sample is unusual and unexpected.
You test a lot of beer, wine, spirits. Do you normally find tert-butyl alcohol in them?
No. This would probably be one of the first samples that we've detected tert-butyl alcohol in.
You do not want to be drinking tert-butyl, full stop. You're not meant to drink it. It was never meant to be in a drink. So tert-butyl could be used as kind of a paint stripper, as kind of an industrial cleaner. In Australia, kind of the recipe where you find it on its own with alcohol, that's usually going to be a base for a perfume or hand sanitizer.
Heavy drinkers and people with a limited income are particularly vulnerable to the harmful effects of illicit alcohol. Dr. Eric Hedinata is an addiction medicine specialist in Melbourne.
And some of the health effects of drinking high amounts of tert-butyl alcohol in animal studies were kidney and bladder issues, okay, and over time they detected kidney and thyroid cancers, okay, and there were some mortality. This is just EPA.
He says tert-butyl poisoning could be flying under the radar for patients treated for substance abuse.
Now I do need to look back at all my patients that I can't explain why they have such significant organ damage and consider whether or not my hypothesis of why they're having such significant organ damage, whether or not adulterants might be one of the differential diagnoses.
We contacted IGA's operator Metcash about our findings. In a statement, the company told us it is investigating the matter and believes the store here was unaware the product may have been illicit.
Tuscany Beverages is behind Dirty George vodka. Following a search of company records, we went to an address linked to the company in Doncaster.
I'm just looking for the owner of Dirty George vodka.
I'm the owner.
Yes, great.
I'm the owner, but
Yes.
of my lawyers, I've spoken to my lawyers and everything because someone's been copying our brand.
Really? That's what I wanted to talk to you about because we've done lab results.
Yep.
We've done a lab test on it and
Yep.
it's come up with adverse findings. So
Yep.
you aware of that?
I'm not aware of the lab thing, but we don't manufacture. We just we get that made from a manufacturer. I don't want it to film me.
Okay. I just need to talk to you about this because we're doing a story on Dirty George vodka.
Steve James is the director of the company and said he was unaware of any contaminants and said someone else was producing counterfeit products under the Dirty George label.
So what we found is there's tert-butyl alcohol in this, which is a denaturant in industrial alcohol.
It's not us.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Lawyers for Tuscany Beverages told 730 they have reported what they believe to be counterfeit Dirty George products to Liquor Control Victoria and would cooperate with any investigation. They said all genuine Tuscany Beverages products are manufactured and bottled through a properly licensed manufacturing facility. The company has not received any advice or notice from the facility or from any regulator indicating that its products are unsafe or non-compliant.
We've actually seen that brand in our audits. That's one that we flagged.
Dr. Michaela Kowalski raised these concerns about vodka labelled as Dirty George with authorities.
We've discussed our results with the different liquor control agencies, police, health departments.
There are 3 ways illicit alcohol can make it into the Australian market. Through the fraudulent manufacture of alcohol that avoids tax altogether, the licensed manufacture of alcohol in a distillery but underreporting sales and not paying excise, and smuggling alcohol into the country without paying excise duty.
There's a few kind of quirks in our regulatory system. So to sell alcohol, you need to have a liquor license. Whether you're a retailer, a wholesaler, you need to have a liquor license. But the catch is that if you've got a bottle shop, you don't actually have to check if your supplier is licensed and above board and doing the right thing.
We contacted Victoria Police, the Australian Taxation Office and the local council about our findings. We were then referred to the Victorian Department of Health, which then told us to go to Safe Food Victoria, an agency created 3 weeks ago. Safe Food Victoria told 730 Victorians have a right to safely consume food and alcohol, and any person or business who seeks to profit off this by breaking the law faces significant fines and prison.
So in the European Union, all food and beverage products, and this includes alcohol, are subjected to randomised testing for quality control. That's something that could really go about increasing consumer confidence.
Dr. Eric Hadanata wants to see tougher penalties for those who manufacture contaminated alcohol.
When someone spikes your drink, that's a crime. Well, this is technically spiking your drink with a substance that you do not consent to. I think this is a criminal offence.